Hello family, my name is Thomas Jones, and if you're watching this video, guess what? You and I, we are family. We're related in some form or fashion. If you have met me or know me, then you probably don't refer to me or know me as Thomas Jones. You probably refer to me as Bam, or maybe even heard someone refer to me as Scooty or something along those lines. Well, if you haven't met me and don't know me, then Thomas is fine, okay? I actually prefer Thomas. I guess after 55 years, there's something we just can't shake, right? But anyway, I digress. But what this is a introductory video to a very short but important presentation. And the content of that presentation is about Charles and Polly Ann Hicks. As you may know, those are our grandparents. I don't know what level they are to you, but they are our grandparents, our ancestors. And what we've done also is put together a website. And that website is at www.thehickspreserve.org. That's www.thehickspreserve.org. It should be somewhere here. Should be somewhere at the bottom of your screen here now. But on that website, you're going to see what we've done is we've gone to great depths to capture the rich and very impressive history and legacy of Charles and Polly Ann Hicks. But if you're still on that website, you'll also see a tab on there that says crises. And what we're referring to in the crises is going to share with you what's left of the Hicks legacy, what's left of the Hicks footprint. It's also going to point out that the Hicks legacy, or the Hicks estate, what's left of it that is, has fallen into a great state of peril. And that's what this presentation is all about. We are set out now on a campaign. We're going to save what's left of the Hicks estate. Now, there's not much land left with the Hicks estate, but as you may know, whenever there's any land at all involved, there's a lot of taxes involved. And so over the years, on at least 3 occasions, we have been in dire straits as far as being in jeopardy of losing the estate and what's left of it due to tax foreclosure and due to unfrivolous business people. Okay. And so we've always managed to go in and bail the property out and keep it afloat. But that's about all we've done. And so now we've gotten to a crossroad, and we're at a point now where we've got to do something to secure what's left of the Hicks footprint for generations and generations to come, and make it in a situation to where we never worry ourselves or concern ourselves about some overzealous land developer comes in and just seizes all of the property and does the unthinkable to our legacy, our history. Now, I don't know if you are aware that part of the Hicks estate is the historical Jordan Stream Baptist Church and the Jordan Stream Church Cemetery. And our loved ones, quite a few of them, are interred, to include Charles and Polly Ann Hicks. They're interred in that cemetery. Well, let me enlighten you on something. Guess what? We own that. Who knew, right? we actually have a responsibility to ensure that not only our loved ones, but everyone else who have entrusted the Hicks name and the Jordan Stream name associated with it to the protection of their loved ones. And that's something that we can't sell, and it's absolutely something that we can't allow someone else to take from us or destroy. So we've devised a permanent solution. We've devised a means where the Hicks estate, at least what's left of it, will be secure for generations and generations and generations to come, without ever worried about anyone coming in and taking what's left or simply destroying what has been built. Now, here's the newsflash. The church cemetery, and there's like 8 acres of land adjacent to that, it's all part of the Hicks estate, but more importantly, it's all considered heirs property. Okay, in that presentation, it's going to explain exactly what heirs property is and how we can alleviate this burden. Now, here's another news flash. Not only is it heirs property, there's over 100 heirs, okay? Over 100 heirs that own about 10 acres of land. Can you imagine that? Have you ever been in a partnership? You know that they say 2 people is a partnership, 3 people is a sinking ship. So imagine 100 heirs. on 10 acres of land. Now that is a unique situation, and that is a challenge in itself. But I am encouraged. I am cautiously optimistic that we as a Hicks family can get it done. Charles and Polly and Hicks did some things that was unique, challenging, and if you look back on it, the time period in which they did it, virtually impossible. But they pulled it off, they made it happen, and we have all benefited from it as a result. So now is our chance. Now is our time. Now is our turn to do what they did. And what we're going to do is preserve what they have already established, what is left of it, that is. Now, everyone who looks at our situation and everyone I've talked with that they're not in our family, they all say the same thing. Tom, this is absolutely not the way to go about doing it. This is not the best way because, see, now you're depending on people to do something. And people don't like to do something. And, you know, I always agree. And I say, yeah, you're probably right. Absolutely. I know that you're right. That's just basic human behavior. However, I think in this situation, in this case, I think you're totally wrong. And I think you're wrong for a few reasons. One, well, you're not a Hicks. Two, none of the heirs or none of us who would just happen to be related that are not heirs, I'm not one of the heirs, but it's just not financially attractive. There's nothing to gain monetarily. However, I think and I hope when you read about the rich history of Charles and Polly Ann Hicks and see our legacy and our lineage, I hope that you'll see that this is not about money. This is absolutely priceless, and this is something that has to be done. So again, it's going to get taken care of. It's going to be a heavy lift. It's going to be very costly. We're going to need your help. And if you are heir, if you're one of those over 100 heirs, what I hope that you'll do is act, and I hope you act in a timely manner, because there's going to be some legal action that you're going to have to take. Meaning in the fact that the way that we're going about doing it, it's going to require you to transfer your interest in this estate. However small, you still have an interest in it. It's going to require you to transfer your interest over to the Charles and Polly Ann Hicks Preserve. And what that Charles and Polly Ann Hicks Preserve is set up to do is become collective owner, to whereby once Charles and Polly Ann Hicks Preserve owns it, therefore we can now protect it. Without that, anyone outside can come in and take what it is and just do away with it. And we don't want that to happen. On that website that I mentioned earlier, you're also going to see under the crisis tab what happens to neglected or abandoned or just African American cemeteries and property if people do not have the wherewithal, the financial wherewithal to protect themselves, or if they have situations like ours where it's entangled in such a web of heirs property laws to you just can't protect yourself. So you're going to see just a few cases on that website about, you know, what happens in a case like this. So again, I hope that you see the urgency. I hope that you see where it just makes sense for us to do it as a family, because it gives us an opportunity now to give back because of the contributions that Charles and Polly Ann Hicks made, and you may not even be aware of, but it gives you an opportunity now to give back and make our ancestors proud, okay, by just doing the right thing at the right time. They did that, and I think now it's time for us to do just that. But again, it's going to be a short presentation. L'Oreal does a great job with the delivery. However, it's going to lay out where we are, what we're doing about it, and more particularly what you can do to help move this along and get this done. In addition, I hope that you will, whether you're an heir or not, I hope that you will prayerfully consider making a donation. You can do that on that website that I mentioned, the hickspreserve.org. You can make a donation there, any amount. Of course, the bigger the better, but we need as much as we can, as help as we can get. Because not only once you see the presentation, you see the cost involved here, that's only the beginning. So I hope that you'll take this all in, and I hope that you'll join us on this mission as we set out to secure, to preserve, and more particularly, protect what's left of the historic Charles and Polly Ann Hicks legacy. So take care. God bless. Hope to see you soon. Bye now.